What's going on, everyone? It is Will Mitchell here, and today I want to tell you guys about moving to Belize and what that process looks like. I want to give a special shout out to one of our viewers, Frank. Frank requested we make this video, so this one's for you and for all of our other viewers, because I think there's a lot of valuable information in here that you're all going to enjoy. So how do you move to Belize? Well, there's several ways that you can do it, but really it's not as complicated as you might think. It might seem like a daunting task, having to relocate, take all your stuff, go somewhere new, set up. What are the legal issues that you have to overcome here? Where are you gonna live? But really it can be as simple as coming to Belize, getting a 30-day tourist visa. We've talked about this many times in our videos. And when you enter, you can actually renew that visa in perpetuity at the immigration office. The fee is 200 Belize per month, so 100 US, and you go to any one of the immigration offices. So if you're located in San Pedro, where we are, then you go right across from Tropic Air. When you land at the airport there, you go in, you tell them you're staying for another 30 days. They'll stamp your passport, you're good for 30 days. Now you can do that for a full year until you want to apply for residency. You can do that forever if you really want. You don't want to be a resident, but the reality is it doesn't have to be so complicated. So entering on that tourist visa, going in for that stamp, that's one of the easiest ways to move to Belize. And then you can still keep your home back in the States if you want, or if you're ready to just, burn the boat and move here, then, sell your house, stop renting your house, pack your stuff up, and you can still come in this way. There are programs like the QRP, which a lot of people reach out to us and ask, should I do the QRP? That really depends, guys. There are some benefits from using the QRP program, like not having to pay import duties on the stuff you're bringing in. So if you're someone that has a ton of stuff, boats, cars, everything you're bringing in, you might want to look at the QRP avenue. It also is one of the ways, which you just saw in our boat video, that you can get a captain's license. So it could be interesting, but I know most of our clients that move here don't actually go through the QRP. They come, they get their passport stamped, and they use this other strategy of just using a tourist visa. After you've done that for a year, as long as you've been here for 365 days, you can leave for a total of 14 days. Then you can apply to become a permanent resident. I have the fees for that right here, and we will put this up on the screen for you guys. So an individual can apply for permanent residency after legally residing in Belize for a minimum of a year, and the fee for residency ranges from $187.50 to $1,562.50, depending on the nationality of the applicant. So when you do go to apply, they're going to ask for the following items on your application. You must show proof that you've been in Belize for 1 year. Typically, they'll look at your passport stamps. You have to pay the immigration process, so your fees. You have to do a police record, marriage certificate, an income tax statement. If you have had a work permit, which typically a lot of people moving down here won't have that, some of you will, then you'll show that. A recent local bank statement, a health certificate, your passport pictures, and documents showing you have access or acquired land in Belize. So you don't need all of these. It's going to depend on your application process, but you're going to need a good amount of these. And the key factor is really being here for that year. So you can apply for permanent residency after that. If you invest $250,000, the government has put in the temporary investment residency program, which is a way you can expedite that residency. If you do the temporary investor residency, that will afford you some benefits, like not having to pay that 100 US every month. And you can also get, certain things with that residency card, like your captain's license, which again, we talked about in our boat video. So that's another avenue you can look at. So really there's 3 ways that you can do it. 1, you can come in with the QRP program. 2, you can enter on a tourist visa. And 3, you can do the temporary investor residency program. After you've had your residency for a cumulative total of 5 years, you can then apply for your nationality, get your Belizean passport, and become a Belizean citizen. Woohoo, you made it, guys. Now you're Belizean. Now you have all the benefits that a local would, but really being a resident is essentially the same thing. So that's the key to getting here. So now you're here. What type of real estate should you look at? What should you invest in? Should you buy a place to live? There's a lot of stuff to unpack with that regard. Now, a lot of people will look, if they're moving here, to just buy a condo, buy a house, and live in that condo or house, which could be a great avenue. Typically, what a lot of our clients will do, and a lot of people moving here, they'll look at land and buying a piece of land than building their dream home, because still in this market, completed units sell far above the replacement cost of a new build. Now you're gonna have to go through a little bit of pain, some headaches, depending on what you're building, where you're building, who you're building with, to get that process done. But in the end, there will be cost savings. So we do see a lot of people taking the avenue of getting their land and building as opposed to buying a completed unit. You might also say, look, I'm just going to invest in some property here. This is a side thing from where I'm going to live. And you might rent a unit, which is also a great option. So if you want to rent, where should you look? Well, we've got a few rentals that I'm going to show you right now, so you can get up to speed a little bit on the rental market. You're not going to find as many monthly rentals in this market, just because when you look at a market with an ADR, your nightly rate of $167 on average, it's hard to justify renting monthly when you can generate so much more income on a nightly basis. But there are some places that do rent on a monthly basis. So some examples of what you could look at are one in Mahogany Bay. The topmast cottage is a vertically split duplex. Both sides are going to potentially be available for monthly rentals. Both would have to rent, but those would be at $2,500 a month. So if you want to rent something right away in Mahogany Bay, that topmast is a great option. The other potential option are the studio units at Dulce Sueños. If you want to get information on those, shoot me an email, guys. We can get you up to speed on what the possibility for a monthly rental would look like there. Or the Yacht Club is another great location, right on the beach in town. They do have some monthly rentals. I have seen them at Ambergris Lakes before, which is another little condo project just north of Mahogany Bay. And Mara Laguna sometimes also has monthly rentals. So we'll write those names in so you can Google them and see if you can find a monthly rental there. Or if you want something in Mahogany Bay, that topmast cottage is a great option. So a little bit of info for you guys about moving to Belize. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions that I didn't cover in the video, shoot me an email, guys, and I'm happy to answer them and we can go into further detail. Or if it's something specific to your circumstances, shoot me an email. And as always, guys, we can't wait to see you out here in paradise.